Environment Secretary Steve Reed has pledged a 50% cut in sewage spills by 2030, unveiling what he called one of the largest infrastructure projects in England's history. Central to his announcement is a £104 billion investment package to fix the water system's collapse. I'm Mike Sivier of Vox Political. Buy me a coffee. It means donate cash so I can keep making these clips. Or donate more than £20 and I'll give you a free book. More on that later. Subscribe to the video mailing list, like and comment on this post, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But watch this first, to the end. Okay, across England's rivers, lakes and coastlines, sewage spills have become an unwelcome symbol of systemic failure. In 2024 alone, water companies discharged untreated waste for an alarming 3.6 million hours, a crisis built on old pipes, weak regulation, and executives cashing in while the public pays the price. The investment package isn't a tribute to free markets or private sector muscle. It's a public-backed plan cloaked in corporate branding. Ofwat, the economic regulator, officially approved £104 billion in spending on water and sewage infrastructure between 2025 and 2030. But that money is not from hidden profits or shareholder reserves. It's largely drawn from household bills, increases of about £31 per year, or around 36% over 5 years. Worse still, Ofwat removed £8 billion of unjustified costs from water company plans, then allowed the companies to keep £2.8 billion in returns, all before asking taxpayers for more. In short, public funding underpins sewage fixes, even as shareholders and execs still expect dividends and bonus culture intact. Since privatisation in 1989, investors have extracted vast sums, £82 billion in dividends and equity, while pipeline investment lagged behind need. Regulatory watchdogs, Ofwat and the Environment Agency, were meant to guard the public interest, but repeatedly failed. A National Audit Office report has found that these bodies lacked coherent long-term planning and oversight, even as 10 of the 16 water companies struggled to pay their debts. The result? Asset decay, record pollution, and oscillating crises, including Thames Water's move into special administration, saddled with more than £16 billion in debt, bailed out with £3 billion of public cash in March 2025. According to the Times, Reed's plan consists of a reset, ban exec bonuses, bolster prosecutions, reject Thames Water's bailout plea, rebuild, inject £104 billion via PR24 spending, and revolution, overhaul regulation through Sir John Cunliffe's Independent Water Commission, possibly scrapping or replacing Ofwat. Reed has called Ofwat broken and clearly failing, indicating systemic regulatory failure. Leaks suggest the final report will call for root and branch reform, potentially including regional catchment boards and a new supervisory authority. While the government talks tough, the ownership structure remains intact. Firms continue to distribute dividends and bonuses, even amid crisis. Southern Water's CEO doubled their salary to around £1.4 million last year. Helmed by the regulator, water companies now get bill-funded investment, not from shareholders or internal reserves. Despite Reed's polluter pays rhetoric, the bill is being socialised, falling on households via higher utility charges and government-backed guarantees. The public mood is ugly. Environment Agency data showed a 60% rise in serious pollution incidents in 2024, the highest on record. Wild swimmers, Parents and local communities are furious at raw sewage warnings and beach bans. Nigel Farage, not normally a champion of public ownership, even hinted at 50% nationalisation, underscoring how broken the system appears. Against massive public support for renationalisation, only 8% of Brits support continued private ownership. But Labour has ruled out outright nationalisation, citing cost concerns, even though new analysis suggests it could be done cheaply if properly managed. Here's what's left out of government messaging. Buying back companies need not break the bank. The People's Commission's analysis argues that current valuations overestimate costs. Compensation under English law could be managed without taxpayer shock. Public ownership models already work. Scottish Water is publicly owned, trusted, and operates without shareholder pull. Private investment is debt heavy. Water firms now owe $74 billion in debt and continue to pay out dividends totaling $83 billion so far, while borrowing more to maintain returns. Regulator failure isn't anecdotal, it's systemic. Ofwat and the Environment Agency are underfunded, lacking holistic vision, and failing to hold companies accountable. Massive investment might meaningfully tackle pollution, but only if monitored ruthlessly. The Independent Commission already warns there aren't enough checks to ensure cash delivers change. New regulation may help, but removing Ofwat is not a silver bullet unless its replacement has teeth. Bill hikes are politically toxic. Families facing added costs may look back with regret unless they see real results and quickly. Yes, the plan marks a watershed moment. £31 extra per household per year will pay for wastewater treatment, staved off nationalisation and environmental recovery. Reid's reforms move beyond fine waving. Prosecutorial teeth, bonus bans and regulatory reimagining are on the table. But the core remains unchanged. Infrastructure is now publicly funded but remains privately owned. Taxpayers are shouldering the cost, while shareholders and executives stand by to collect whatever profits remain after construction. If that doesn't seem like privatised profits in nationalised bills, what does? Until Labour is willing to consider public ownership, what we're seeing is not reform. It's a conservative reboot of the same failed model. On Monday, July 21st, Cunliffe's report drops. It might hint at new powers for regional catchment boards, but watch for any mention of nationalisation. In the autumn, a water reform bill is expected. Will it weaken or dismantle Ofwat? And in terms of what is ongoing now, the Environment Agency is to publish its first progress report on spill reductions. Spikes in incidents will test Reid's credibility. The water sector crisis isn't just a policy failure, it's the reckoning of 3 decades of mismanagement under privatisation. Will Labour rebuild that system or replace it entirely? Paying £104 billion to fix it is bold, but handing it back to the same owners? That would be the real public betrayal. I've been Mike Sevier, and it's time to buy me that coffee now. Donate more than £20 and I'll give you a free copy of my reissued first book, Strong Words and Hard Times. Subscribe to the video mailing list, like and comment on this video clip, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you do all that, you'll be helping keep this channel alive, and then you'll be able to see me in the next one.